Crosstown born like Saddam, but a bit human. Straps in every palm, need an octopus to get to him. Chopper with the drum, off his head, Takashi lips loose. Ghost possess the bomb, I'm alarm, how this shit move. I died, came back and bought pressure. Your blow fell off, it lost self. Me back boss, a go-getter, and the transport gotta eat that cost, I know better. Elemental shit, I just float through the building. Gucci loafed up, got the hate on kill 'em. Pit pocket flow, so the hoes gon' fill 'em. When you blink 'em moving slow, it's like the panoramic in 'em.
Yo, it's your boy Marita, boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. Today I want to bring y'all the story of Little Pip. I actually know two Little Pips. One of them is my brother-in-law, and one of them was my friend growing up in Crosstown, Orlando, Florida. Little Pip was a smooth little dude, man. I met him when I was like 14 years old. I had moved from Wabasso, Florida, and moved back to Orlando, Florida, and started living with my father in Crosstown, Orlando, Florida. That's the name of the hood that I'm from. It's really the downtown Orlando area. So if you're anywhere downtown Orlando, you pretty much Crosstown. If you are a tourist or something, you want to know where you're at by me describing what I'm trying to tell you where Crosstown, Orlando, Florida is. Now, Little Pip was from a street called Long Street. And it was in Crosstown, Orlando, Florida, but I'm from Paramore, you know what I mean? And Paramore and Long Street, actually, they intersect. It is a street, it is a part of Orlando where Paramore and Long Street intersect, but it's all Crosstown, right? And I started hanging with one of my cousins. His name was Hitman. And how that happened was I used to be in the house all the time because I didn't know anybody when I came back from Wabasso, Florida, back to Orlando, Florida. But my cousin used to come over my dad's house all the time. This is my cousin on my dad's side. And he saw me in the house all the time, so he started, want to bring me out the house, like, hey, cuz, come hang with me. And he a little older than me, so I started hanging with him, and one of his best friends was a kid named Lil Van, and Lil Van's story got a tragic story to his life as well, and I'll probably give you his story in a later video. But I started hanging with Hitman and Lil Van. So one evening they come to get me to take me to a community center that was in the neighborhood, and they had parties for teenagers. So I'm like, cool, I get to hang out, I get to, get out the house, you know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't have no friends at that time. You see what I'm saying? I'm like 14, they probably about 16, 15, they're a little older than me. So anyway, we go to the community center party. Make a long story short, Lil Van gets in a fight with this kid from Long Street. Make a long story short, the kid from Long Street was Lil Pip, and that's my first time meeting Lil Pip. Through Lil Van getting a fight with Lil Pip after the community center dance. So fast forward, Lil Pip ended up hanging with my older sister's boyfriend, and they were really, really close because he was from Long Street as well, and they were really, really tight. They was really, really tight. Lil Pip was not really in my circle, but he was in my age bracket. But me and him never really hung with each other, but we knew each other, right? So, and I knew him a lot because of my sister's baby daddy. They were really, 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 really close. You know what I'm saying? And he always was a fly dude. He always was a fly young dude. He always stayed clean, this and that. He was very clean. So fast forward, I end up going to the county, juvenile side of the county. I want to say 1998 or 97, somewhere up in there. Now I'm still a juvenile, but they put me they waved me over, which was adjudicating me as an adult, and they put me in the juvenile side of the county because in the county you cannot be put with adults until you're over 18. So they put me in the juvenile side of the county, and I'm in there waiting to go to trial and stuff like that. I actually couldn't bond out because I had a juvenile hold. I had a warrant for a program that I was supposed to go to, but I had bucked the program. And so if I would have bonded out in the county, only thing would happen is I would have went back to juvenile, and then I would have ended up getting sent to the program. And to make a long story short, that kind of ended up what happening anyway, just a little bit farther down the line. But anyway, I'm in the county jail, the juvenile side of the county jail, and Lil Pip comes in. I forgot what his charges was, but he ended up coming in. So of course, when you're in the county jail and you see somebody that you know from the outs, you get kind of excited. I ain't gonna cap. You get a little excited, especially somebody from home team, somebody from your hood or whatever. And when he saw us, and when we saw him, you know what I mean, they brought him in on the tier, you know what I mean, and we started talking, you know what I mean. He started telling me, you know what I'm saying, about the outs and stuff like that, and telling me about the new music that was out, because, you know, at this time I had been in the county for like 3 or 4 months, so a lot of stuff that I had to miss. And he telling me about stuff or whatever. So me and him, you know, we clicked, because I think me and him was one of the only two that was actually from crosstown Orlando, Florida, in that tier, in that tier at that time. I mean, it was people from other parts of Orlando, but we was actually from the same pretty much neighborhood. So of course we wanted to talk, we wanted to stay, you know, locked in. So I go to the CO. One of the COs was my cousin, but we kind of tried to keep that on the low, but he was my blood cousin. And I told the CO to put him in my room, move the other dude out of my room and move him in my room. So that's what the CO did. So now me and Pip, we roommates. You know what I'm saying? We roommates. We thugging it out. We doing push-ups every night. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna tell you about Pip. At this point in time, he talked the real good game. Don't get it twisted. He talked real good game. He'll talk a little shit, but he wasn't really hard like me. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do it. Him, he kind of had a little fear in him. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you a story, right? So we was in there with a dude named Ellis Clark. Ellis Clark always was big. He stayed in jail. He stayed in juvenile. And Ellis Clark, you know, Ellis Clark was a gangster. Like, I ain't gonna even cap. Ellis Clark was a gangster. I ain't gonna even put no, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. He was a gangster, right? But he was big, he was cut, he had muscles. Like he had muscles bigger than the average kid at that age. And he was very intimidating looking. And I remember one time Ellis had went in our locker. And well, I didn't know he went in the locker. I just assumed, because the only people in the dorm that stole people's shit, that was bold enough to take somebody's shit, was me and him. So, just to be honest with you, it was me and him. You know what I'm saying? This is back when I was children of the corn, y'all. I ain't gonna even count, man. Like, wasn't nobody looking out for me or nothing like a jail. I remember my sister sent me $50 one time. I still remember that. But other than that, nobody never sent me no money or nothing like that in jail. Nobody came to see me. This is when I was a juvenile. This is when I was like, I'm telling you, I was still young and thugging. I was like the motherfucking little kids over there in Somalia, you know, with a chopper. I was really, really bad. So anyway, I went in the room, and me and Pip room, and I went in the locker, because we finna get ready to lock down, and we finna get ready to, you know, make us a honey bun with some peanut butter on it, and, you know, some soup with some noodles. We finna get ready to do our thing, because we finna lock us down. Me and bro finna eat. So I go in the locker, I see this food gone. So I say, bro, where our shit at? He like, man, I don't know, man. I think the niggas, Ellis never must have took it. I say, you think Ellis never must have took it? What you talking about? You think they must have took it? You just sitting up in here and you think they must have took it? He like, man, I don't know if they took it, so I just don't, you know, I just ain't wanna. I say, what? All right, hold on, just chill. I shot right out my room myself, went down the till, went in Ellis' room. When I go in Ellis' room, he laying on the bottom bunk like he reading a book. Man, I went right in his locker, opened his locker. I could see my items, the soups, the honey buns, the peanut butter cookies. I could see it all right there. He ain't had nothing in his locker but the shit that was in my locker. Man, I grabbed all my shit up, looked at him, looked back at him, and walked right on out the room. And went right back in my room with Little Pip and put my shit on the bed and say, bro, man, go ahead, you know what I'm talking about? We finna cook this shit up, dog. Cook this shit up. You know what I'm talking about? Little Pip, he on the bed, he looking at me like, looking with big eyes like, damn, like, bro just went down there and took the shit back from Ellis. Yeah, you motherfucking right. I just went back down there and took that shit from Ellis, nigga. That's how I motherfucking roll, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't squish. Nigga, the fuck you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about nobody. Like, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, like, this the old me, y'all. This the old me. I ain't trying to glorify none of this shit. I'm just telling you, this the old me, right? So, I said that story to say this. Lil Pip could have did something. He could have kept this man from taking our stuff, or he could have came down there with me when I went down there to get our stuff. And it seems like he knew already that the man had took our stuff and wasn't gonna do nothing about it. So I had to go do it myself. Now I tell this story because I want to show you how people transform in the streets, right? So that's why I was trying to tell you. He wasn't particularly hard as me back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I even remember a story one time where they had him and I forgot who else it was, but they had a crackhead's car, right? And I had a cousin named Texaco, and my cousin was kind of like a little bully type, right? So we was teenagers, bro. This was even before I was in the county with Little Pip. So we had to be about 15 years old. So they had a crackhead's car. They pull up on the block, and it was a nice car too. I can't remember exactly what kind of car it was, but it was a nice car. And if you know anything about having crackhead's cars, when you get a nice crackhead car, you feel like it's yours. You want to go and drive it all around. You want to take it to pick up girls, and you want to smoke weed in it, and you want to ride up and down the street. You know, we kids, so this is what we doing. We ain't stealing the car. You just gave the crackhead some dope for the car, and they had one. So they pulled up on the block in the car. My cousin Tesco saw the car was nice, so he walked up to him. They sitting in the car or whatever. He like, damn, boy, that bit hard as hell. Boy, I like that bit. Right then, my cousin reached through the driver's side window, took the keys out the ignition, and walked off. Right? So now Little Pippy and whoever else was in the car with him, I can't remember who else was in the car with him, they just still stuck in the car, just sitting in the car. Now, they on some shit like, man, come on, man, Testico, stop playing, man, stop playing. My cousin like, man, this is my car now, man, fuck y'all, this is my car. You know what I'm talking about? Just straight took the car. So they stayed around the car for about a good 30, 40 minutes, and then when they seen that he wasn't really gonna get them the keys back and he had just left them sitting in the car without no keys, they just walked off and left. And then my cousin Tesco came back and he took the car and he had the car. So he pretty much just Debo Little Pip in them car. I'm showing y'all this to show you the backstory to him, to show you how he transformed and show you how he changed, right? So fast forward years later, we grow up. I'm in my early 20s, and I started hearing stories that Little Pip, his name ringing. So, and when we mean what your name ringing is, that you mean he getting into some gangster shit, and I heard he had started slinging that pistol around. I heard that he had started, shooting people and robbing and he really had done changed from the guy that I just described to you guys in the earlier stories to he evidently he was on that. He was like that. So they tell a story. One time he got into it with his baby mama, and I know this is for a fact because I talked to his baby mama. One day I met her, and I didn't know she was his baby mama, and she was like, you don't know me, I'm Little Pip, baby mama. And I'm like, no, I'm like, where Little Pip? She like, Little Pip from Long Street. I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, I'm the one he shot in the chest. I'm like, what? So the story is he had got into it with his baby mama, and I told you he had started slinging that pistol around. Let me tell y'all something, bro. When people start pulling that trigger and start shooting people and stuff like that, it's my opinion, it's my experience, it gets a lot easier for them to do it more and more. And when people, they get into it with people, they turn to that more easier as a solution to whatever the situation is that they're getting into, more so than before they first started pulling the trigger. And he shot her in the chest. I forgot what it was, probably a domestic dispute or whatever. And she lived. I cannot remember whether he ever went to jail for that or whatever, so I don't want to tell no stories or no lie on it, but that's just one of the incidents that he got into. He almost really tried to kill his baby mama. I mean, he shot her in the chest, y'all, like in the middle of the chest, like close by her heart, and she lived, dog. So anyway, another situation, we had a gangster dude in the hood, an older dude. I don't want to say his name because he's still around, but he was a real gangster, like he was a real G, like he was really known for that, like he was on a level above a lot of people. And story has it that Little Pip mistaken him for somebody else and shot the guy, right? He shot the guy. He shot the gangster, the dude that I'm telling y'all that was like that. He shot the guy. Now, normally this would have been a death sentence for anybody else doing this to this guy. Let me tell you what the guy does. The guy actually tracks Little Pip down and has a talk with him. When he had a talk with him, he told him, man, I like you, man. You know, I've been hearing a lot about you, man. Why don't you come start, why don't you join my team? So the dude that was the gangster that was really like that, who Little Pip mistakenly shot and could have killed, and that would have been a death sentence for most people, I'm telling you, he got a once in a lifetime deal. The dude actually put Little Pip on his team. You know, it's weird things that happen like that in the streets sometimes. Sometimes gangster dudes see young dudes that remind them of them, and they befriend them. And this is what happened. Like, that was a real sticky situation because Lil Pip couldn't have known whether this guy was gonna backdoor him in the future or whatever, but he didn't. He was sincere, and he really liked Lil Pip, and he put Lil Pip on his team. He really, really did. And they started hanging out, they started robbing, they started getting money, and Lil Pip bossed up. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the same guy that I had to go back and take our food from one of the guys who stole our food in the county jail. This the same guy that my cousin them had done took a car from, just deboed it from him, and he ain't do nothing about it. Till years later, now he robbing, he shooting people, he running with the gangsters crew in our area. And yeah, he not to be played with. You know, he's known to be like that. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna say this as well. He wasn't like that to us. He never throwed his weight around to us. Even in the midst of his reputation being that of someone not to be played with, we still was able to crack jokes, and all the normal things that we did growing up. That's just one thing about when you grow up with people who turn out to be killers or turn out to be like that. A lot of times when you have a relationship with them, your relationships stay the same. You know what I'm saying? The way that they be that way to people who they haven't had a relationship with, or they didn't grow up with, or they don't have all these childhood memories with. But to us who have the childhood memories with them, we still treat them the same. We still crack on them. We still talk about the time when we did stuff as kids. We still talk about the times when they got beat up as kids. We still do all that shit, right? And I'm telling you, it's crazy, but we be playing and joking with the killers every day like it's nothing. And these dudes be really having bodies. These really dudes be really like that, but we just don't see them like that. Hate it or love it, is it a wrong or right thing to do? I don't know. It just depends on the situation. But this is how we behave around these guys. We are not afraid of them at all. We treat them just like regular people. And but yeah, they have reputations and they be like that. So fast forward, Lil Pip goes to jail, and he goes to jail for a while. I can't remember how much time he goes to jail for, but he goes to jail for a good little while. I started dating a woman who actually lived in the apartment complexes that his baby mama lived in. And my son and his son had became friends. And he had a very respectable son, man. I really enjoyed talking to his son. He had a very mature aura about him, and he used to tell me, man, I can't wait till my daddy get out, because his mama, let's just say his mama was a lady of the night. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm just being real, you know what I'm saying? His mama was a lady of the night. If you had a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? You could, you know, to my, scared, you know, to my one of them. And the boy, it did, you know, it bothered him, you know what I'm saying? But that's all he had, his mama. And he used to tell me, he said, man, I can't wait till my daddy get out. And lo and behold, his daddy got out, right? Now, the little boy used to play football, not on the same team as my son, but he played on an older team, but the same organization. So it was just like the older members of the same organization. So they played for the same organization, just he was on an older team. So I can recall when his daddy got out, you know, he came, you know, I lived in the same apartments as his son did, so I would see him all the time. And we would talk and click up, and that picture that is that's right here is a picture that we took outside the apartment complex one night when he came to drop off his son. And if you see how our hands are, he told me, he was like, no, don't put your hand, I forgot which hand it was. He was like, don't put that hand on top of that hand. Put this hand on top of this hand. And that is why I'm posing like that. It's because he told me to pose like that for some reason. I don't know, some kind of symbolic reason, but that's what he told me to, and I posed like that. And that's the picture that you see right here that we took. But anyway, he started doing well. He started doing for the little boy, and when I would go to the fairgrounds on Saturday to watch my son play, he would be at this fairgrounds on Saturday watching his son play. And you know, we would talk. We would sit in the same bleachers, and it was just so cool to watch his son be so happy that his dad was out, and he was really taking care of the boy. I mean, like, and he was, you know, he was being a great father, and he started a little record label, and his vision was to sign artists. He didn't want to be a rapper. He wanted to sign artists. And he wanted to be like a CEO, and he was doing it. He was making his way around. He was grabbing a few rappers that he knew. They were good rappers, and he was funding the whole thing, right? And he was talking to me, and I was enjoying his vision, and I was trying to tell him what little bit I knew, because at that time I was rapping as well, and I was telling him a little bit I knew and trying to help him out and give him a little bit of the game. But he was doing fine on his own. He had t-shirts, stuff printed up and stuff like that. And but I'm gonna tell you something that I noticed, right? Being that he was kind of like a boss level before he went to jail, when he got out of jail, he had to start all the way back over. That's one thing people don't like to tell y'all about jail. When you go to jail, you get out, you got to start all the way back over. You see what I'm saying? So that's the street for you. You go to jail, you get out, you got to start all the way back over. You got to build back up, you got to get your money back up, you got to get your place to stay, you got to get you another car, you got to get you another girlfriend. You got, oh man, it's just a never-ending cycle. You know what I'm saying? On starting over. And that's what set a lot of people back too, because if you have to keep starting over in life, you know what I'm saying? The things that you accumulated when you was up, you lose them once you go to jail, and you got to start all the way back over. Cars, houses, women, materialistic stuff, money, you lose it. So you got to start back over. So of course he had to start back over. For a lot of guys, starting back over is a tough process, especially when you've been on a higher level. So what I noticed that a lot of dudes do, they try to cheat the process. They don't like to start back over from scratch. What they do is, especially guys with money, they like to either link in with a plug that they knew before they went to jail and get fronted a large amount of drugs or something. Or if they don't have that avenue to link in with a plug, they like to rob. I'm just be real with you. They like to rob, and they rob so they can get large sums of money so that they can hurry up and get back to the level that they thought that they was before they went to jail. You know what I'm saying? And really it's impatience. Really, that's really what it is. It's really what it is. It's really impatience. And I had got a little word that this is what he was doing. You know what I mean? He was doing a little something, you know what I mean, in order to get the funds that he needed in order to live on the level that he was accustomed to living before he went to jail, but also so that he could fund the rap and the stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. When a lot of times these guys been on a certain level before they go to jail and they get out, it's embarrassing to them to get out and have to struggle or have to start all the way back over. So they don't want people to look at them or see them in that state. So it's like inadvertently they feel like that they got to hurry up and get a large sums of money so that they can get back to the level of what they thought they was before they went to jail. And this is what happened to Little Pip, right? So fast forward, my cousin has a party every year, or he used to have a party every year, and it's called the RIP party. And what it is everybody that died in the whole Orlando that year, he goes on Facebook, he asks them to send them pictures, names, dates of when they was born and when they died to his email, and then he throws a party for everybody that died in Orlando that year, and it's called the RIP party. And when I tell you that party is the thickest block party in Orlando, I mean you have over 1,000 people in a 4-block radius, and this is the party that was going on. I kind of stopped going to them RIP parties a little bit later on, but this is one of the ones that I did go to. So I'm at the RIP party. It is so thick. I mean, this is when you see people you ain't seen in years. I mean, the beautifulest girls, the best cars, the music, everybody fly, food, drinks, everything, right? So I see Little Pip. He come through. I'm sitting down on the side of the road, like in one of my cousin's yard, and I see him come through. He got this nice looking light skinned girl with him. I'm talking about, this is a beautiful girl he got with him, right? So he's saying what's up. You know, when you first get to a party, everybody's saying what's up to you. So he's saying what's up to everybody, what's up, what's up. So I see him say what's up, and when I see him say what's up, his shirt reach up, and I see he got a gun on his hip, right? So when I notice he got a gun, some just come over me and some just tell me to talk to him, right? So I go up to him. I say, what's up, bro? He like, what up, bro? So I'm like, oh, shit, cool and good to see you. I'm like, look, I want to holler at you for a second. He say, all right, I tell you what, give me a second. Let me make my little rounds, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to holler at you. I say, okay, bet. So I go back and sit down, maybe about 30 minutes. He make his rounds around the block party. He's saying what's up to everybody. He introducing himself. You know, people ain't seen him a long time. They cracking jokes. You know how it go. He doing his thing. So he come back to me about 30 minutes later. He like, bro, what you want to holler at me about? I said, come on, let me holler at you. So I walk with him, and we walk across the street to some duplexes, and we walk upstairs. The duplexes is upstairs, downstairs duplexes. And we overlooking the party. Like, you can look down and it's thousands of people. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say thousands. There's at least 1,000 people out there. I'm telling you. There's so many people out there. And it's like we overlooking the party. We can see from a bird's eye view everybody. And I said, bro, what that is you got on your hip? He said, what you talking about? I said, bro, what that is you got on your hip? He said, man, you already know what this is. I said, bro, what you got going on? He said, man, you already know what it is with me. I say, bro, check this out. I say, bro, listen, when you first got out, you was talking about doing this hip hop, this rap thing, this record label thing, and I'm fucking with it. I see your vision. I think you can do it. I say, bro, but do me a favor, bro. Don't let the streets make you feel like you got to hurry up and speed up to get back to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, bro. You ain't got to do that, bro. I say, bro, don't let the streets get you caught up, bro. I say, you feel like you might got something to prove to somebody, but you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody, bro. I say, you got a good vision. You got a good head on your shoulders. You making it work. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you because of that, bro. I say, but don't let the streets get you impatient, bro. Just chill. Keep doing what stay down, and it's gonna work for you because you a boss nigga. You got a good mind. You got a good head on your shoulders. He said, bro. He said, man, I feel you, bro. He said, check this out. He said, you know I do my thing, dog. He said, I just really just trying to get a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, so I can fund this rap thing. He said, be honest with you, bro. I just really gonna hit me one more little move, one more little lick, and I'm about this bitch, dog. I'm done, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just put all that money into, you know, this music. I said, okay, bro. I said, all right. I said, you promise? He said, yeah, I promise. So we walked back downstairs, we went back to the party, everything was cool. So maybe like a couple weeks later, I'm at the fairgrounds watching my son play, and he there too. We both sitting on the same bleachers, right? And my sister, my older sister, she is sitting there too because she has a son that plays football too. They all play for the same organization. They just play on different age groups of the teams. So Little Pip, he hollered at me. He like, hey man, I got some trees for you. I said, what you mean you got some trees for me? He say, I got some trees. I say, okay, what you want me to do with them? He say, I'm gonna front them to you and you can sell them and get my money. I say, bro, I'm working right now, bro. I say, I ain't been hustling at all right now. And this is when I was doing the construction thing. I told you I was construction foreman for like 5 years. So I was like, I ain't been hustling nothing, bro. I ain't got no clientele or nothing for your trees or whatever. He was like, bro, I'm gonna front them to you. He's like, I got a couple pounds. I'm gonna front them to you. Just it's gonna be for the low. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my money whenever you get it. I say, bro, I would. I say, bro, but really, I ain't gonna even cap to you, bro. I I don't want to have your money tied up, bro. I say, I ain't got no clientele or nothing like that, and I ain't finna really get out there and be trying to build up no clientele and stand on the block and do none of that shit right there. He like, bro, I got about 5 to 10 pounds that I will front you, bro, and I want you to get out there, you know what I'm saying, just do your thing, bro, and I ain't gonna be swinging nothing like that. I say, bro, I appreciate it, but I just don't want to have that hassle of it, bro. I say, I'm living pretty good, I work, I got my life kind of situated how I like it. I don't want to have your money tied up and nothing like that. So my sister overheard us. My sister say, "Hey, didn't my brother tell you he don't want no damn weed?" My sister say, "Didn't my brother tell you he don't want no damn weed?" So and my sister is the. Remember I told you he used to hang with my sister baby daddy? Well, this is the sister. So my sister is sort of like real close with him too. So that's why she felt she could talk to him like that. So he say, all right, sis, right? You all right, sis? He say, all right. He say, all right, bro, I'm gonna tell you what. He say, I got my birthday party next Thursday. It's at the strip club. He say, you gonna come to my birthday party, bro? I say, what day it is, bro? He say, it's Thursday night. I say, yeah, bro, I come to your birthday party, bro. I come. Now, let me tell y'all something. Between me and y'all, I was lying like a motherfucker. I was not finna go to his birthday party because I work. And I'm not finna be up at no strip club at 2 and 3 in the morning and I gotta get up at 5 or 6 and go to work. But I just told him that, right? So I lied to him and told him I was gonna go to his birthday party at the strip club, right? So a couple of days later, he goes and he recruits one of my nephew's friends, and I'm gonna do a story on him in another day, later day. His name is Flame. His real name is Lil Nate, but his name was Flame. He was a little young boy. He was young. Flame. He was in his. I think Flame might have been in his late teens. I think Flame was in late teens. I'm gonna get the age right when I do the video on Flame, but I think it was in his late teens. I think Flame was no older than 18, 19, somewhere up in there. He was a real small little boy. I mean, Flame might have weighed 100 pounds. He might have weighed 100 pounds, and he was about 5'3", maybe. I mean, he was short and he was skinny. You know what I'm saying? But he was cool though. He was cool. I knew him for a long time, but he was one of my nephews, and this is my brother's sons. He was one of their little crew. You know what I mean? His name was One Way Flame, and he was cool as hell. Little Pip had done recruited Flame to rob a bank with him, right? And it was another boy that he recruited too. I forgot his name, but the boy is. I'll tell you about his story too as we continue to go. But he recruited Flame and another boy. And it was rumored that Flame tried to back out of the bank robbery at the last moment, but Pip convinced him, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, it's gonna be cool, this and that we're gonna do it. So make a long story short, he convinces Flame and the other boy to go along with him to do the bank robbery. Now, this is before his birthday. This is after I talked to him at the fairgrounds, and this is before his birthday. So this is between that week between I talked to him and the week before his birthday. And word is they go to rob the bank, and for some reason, I don't even think they actually even robbed the bank. I think maybe the people in the bank maybe have peeped the play, and I think they locked the door. And when they lock the door, they end up running, getting in the car, taking off. If I got the story wrong, this is just my only understanding of what I was told. But this is what I was told, because I wasn't there, of course. And the police get behind them. They on a high speed. The police put out the stop sticks. They run and put like a roadblock. They try to run through the roadblock. When they do that, the police go to shooting in the car. The police shot Pip in the head, killing him instantly. He loses control of the vehicle. He wrecks the vehicle. When he wrecks out, he ejects Little Nate out of the car, and he dies, but he got ejected out of the car. And he was a little kid too, man. I'm telling you, I knew him really well, cool as hell. It ejects him out the car, and he dies instantly. The other boy, who was in the back seat of the car, didn't die. He ended up catching 2 life sentences. He's actually my friend on Facebook, and I talk to him sometimes in the messenger, because evidently he's able to get him a phone at some, at periodically. And I talked to him sometime. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was from the neighborhood too. He got 2 life sentences. He never killed anybody. They never actually robbed the bank, but they gave him the 2 life sentences because he was actually the only one that lived that was in the car. And if you with somebody that commissioned a felony and they died, you get the murder charge. At least in Florida, you do. And Little Pip died. He died instantly, and Flame and Nate died. And this was before his birthday, and you could go on his old Instagram, and he had made a post right before he did the bank robbery or attempted bank robbery, and he was pretty much saying, this is my last, it was like a cryptic message, but it was pretty much saying, like, this is my last time doing something like this, and, if God let me make it through doing something like this, then, I'm done forever, and, that type of thing. And it was just so eerie that he had said that and posted that on his Instagram. And I can't get the message, the message that he posted, because his Instagram is private and I don't have access to my old page that was friends with him on Instagram. But I do remember the Instagram post, and it was just so sad, that he passed like that. My nephews took it real bad that their friend died like that, and they still represent their friend to this day. He is like one of the more popular, he's like one of the most popular ones, and they still mourn their friend every day. Like, a lot of them that got tattoos with his name on it, like, and stuff like that. And it was just so sad that how he died. So he didn't even make it. Lil Pip didn't even make it to his birthday. That birthday that he asked me to go to his party, he was dead. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he died the day before his birthday. So I guess his plan was to hit the bank and then to go do his birthday party and, celebrate, and then that was gonna be the end of his life in the streets or whatever. So he said, I don't know if that was the truth, but his cryptic message, that's what it alluded to. And I still remember going to that next Saturday after his birthday, going to the football field to watch my son play. And I told you his son played in the same organization, just on an older kids team. And it was just so sad. I sat in the bleachers, and I remember when this little young boy was telling me he'd be glad when his daddy got home. And when his daddy came home, he lit up. He was so happy. And his daddy was taking good care of him. He had new clothes, new shoes. His dad was coming out to watch him play every Saturday, picking him up in his car and stuff like that. And to watch him sad that Saturday after his dad died trying to rob a bank. And I'm gonna say this too, I can't remember exactly how long his dad was out, but I promise y'all, it wasn't long, bro. It wasn't long. It was not. It couldn't have been 6 months, y'all. I'm just being real. It could have been 6 months. I might give y'all a follow-up on this so I can do a little bit more research and get the dates right. But I don't think he was out 6 months, because the football season don't last that long. I think the football season maybe lasts 4 months or something like that. And I remember when he wasn't at the field watching him play. And I remember when he was at the field watching him play. And I remember after he died when he wasn't at the field watching him play. So it was just sad, and I felt so bad for him. And I talked to my son about it, and my son was like, Dad, he's sad, Dad, his daddy gone. I was like, yeah, man. I said, I'm sad for him. I told my son, I was like, that's why you gotta, these moments that we share with each other, man, we got to cherish them, because, ain't no telling how much time any of us have left. And look how fortunate you is to have your dad right here. And look how happy he was when he had his dad, and now he don't have his dad. His dad is gone forever. You know what I'm saying? And my son, he understood, and you know what I'm saying? It was just a sad thing. And so that is the story of Little Pip, you know what I mean? And that's how he died. It was just sad, man. It was just sad that I had forewarned him. I told y'all, I always kind of been this person that kind of like try to try to teach and try to help and try to, and I didn't see him passing away like that, but some just came over me to talk to him. And I talked to him and I told him. And look how it ended up, man. He ended up losing his life trying to rob a bank. Man. He left that little boy out here without a father. And he was a good dude too, man. He was a good dude. Real good dude. But that's how the streets is, man. And that's why I try to tell y'all, man, listen, man. I ain't judging nobody that's in the streets. I promise you, I ain't no better than y'all. I ain't looking down on none of y'all. I'm just trying to say what I can say, and maybe that'll help you to change your mind, because it's no guarantee that you're gonna make it, And your life is worth more than that. You too special to your parents, to your mama, to your sister, to your brother, to your children, to risk your life for something like the streets that don't love nobody. But if you like this video, man, comment to this video, hit the like button, share this video. Let me know how you feel about the situation. Let me know if you want more stories like this. Let me know what you think about the streets, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Cheer.